Greetings, children of the screen. Your friendly neighborhood nerd scum here. Still not feeling too hot today, so you're going to be getting another video in this format, but we will be moving along with our review. So today we're going to be covering Scooby-Doo Batman Brave and the Bold. Now, when I first heard about this movie, I considered getting it because the last Scooby-Doo movie, which was Scooby-Doo Kiss, a rock and roll mystery, was quite good. I enjoyed that movie a whole lot. So I decided to check out the trailer for this, and when I did, the decision was made. As some of you will know from watching these videos, there are certain things that I am just a total basic bitch about, one of which is Plastic Man. So the minute Plastic Man showed up in this trailer, I decided I was buying the movie. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the movie itself a little bit. So the movie's not rated, as a lot of the straight-to-DVD movies are. It comes in at 115 minutes. It is directed by, and I apologize as I go through some of these names, guys. I'm not good with names, so I know I'm just going to butcher them. It's directed by James Castorina, who also directed 20 episodes of Justice League Action, as well as 13 episodes of Batman Unlimited, as well as working as an art director on pretty much just about any DC product that you've seen come out over the last 8 to 10 years. The film is written by Paul Giacapio and James Tucker, both of which have worked on just too many DC or Marvel animated products to even mention, but they have just put in some solid work. Also, James Tucker has worked on some of the newer Star Wars movies in a writing capacity. The film also has just an amazing cast of actors behind it. So with the Scooby Gang, we've got again, guys, I'm sorry about these names. Gray Delisle as Daphne, Matthew Lillard as Shaggy, Kate McVicky as Velma, Frank Welker as Fred and Scooby-Doo. And then you also have Diedrich Bader as Batman. You have Jeff Bennett as the Joker. Jeffrey Combs coming back as the Question. That was just freaking awesome. Just absolute great surprise for me. Kevin Michael Richardson as Detective Chimp. Tara Strong as both Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. John DiMaggio as Aquaman and Mr. Freeze. Nika Furtherman as Catwoman. John Michael Higgins as the Riddler. That was awesome. And Tom Kenny as both Plastic Man and Penguin, and just too many more to name. So the movie begins in a very typical Scooby-Doo fashion with the Mystery Inc. gang investigating a series of thefts done by puppets and marionettes, seemingly to be apparition puppets, marionette puppets. And at the end of this, we find out that this all was a big elaborate test set up by a group that they're calling the Gotham Detective Analyst, I believe is what it's called. I'm not sure if they just don't have the rights to use Justice League, or if they were just trying to do something that was more Scooby-Doo centric. But either way, this group consists of Batman, Black Canary, The Question, Plastic Man, Martian Manhunter, just a whole bunch of great Batman Brave and the Bold characters. And they basically bring in the Scooby Gang and make them a part of their group. Well, along the way, the Scooby Gang, as well as Batman, get framed for a crime. We also have a great rendition of Harvey Bullock, who is just on them like white on rice, which leads to a lot of really interesting, fun little things. Eventually, there is a huge car chase between Batman, where basically Scooby-Doo is driving, and Batman is riding in the back of the car, and it's a car chase between the Scooby Gang with Batman in the backseat of the Mystery Machine, and pretty much all of the kind of Batman Brave and the Bold Justice League characters, as well as some cop cars. It's a really fun chase. It's really inventive with the way that some of the powers get used. Then after that, this leads them into No Man's Land, which again is just a great reference. I haven't watched all the Batman, the Brave and the Bold, so I'm not sure if this is like a reoccurring thing in the show, or if it's just something they did for this movie. But yeah, once they get into No Man's Land, then we also get just like a freaking amazing car chase action sequences involving pretty much all of the Batman Rogues Gallery, which is pretty awesome. Having no other choice, Batman takes the Scooby Gang to the Bat Cave, where they just take in the coolness of all of it, as well as see Batman's original Golden Age, like purple glove costume in the case, and next to it the original Robin costume, Batgirl costume, and the super funky, fresh disco 1980s Nightwing costume, and as well as like a mask and cape for Ace, the Bat Hound. At a certain point, Batman has to go and investigate part of the crime on his own, while Velma stays back and studies a dust sample that they took. But while Batman is out, the Scooby Gang inevitably finds out that he needs their help, and in order to do that, because they're wanted by both the police and the Justice League and the bad guys, or I'm sorry, not the Justice League, the Gotham Detective Analysts. Uh, they basically don all of the old school Bat costumes to go out and help Batman, with Fred wearing the Golden Age Batman, with Daphne wearing the Batgirl, with Velma dressed up as Robin, Scooby obviously as Ace the Bat Hound, and poor frickin' Shaggy in the 1970s Nightwing frickin' costume. I'm sorry, not 1970s, that was the 1980s. But anyway, yeah, he's in the Nightwing costume, and it is pretty hilarious. We still get some more really great action sequences that move on past here. There's also some really great character development scenes in this, which you don't expect from, or not development, but just character moments from this movie, which is not something you necessarily expect to see. There's a fantastic flashback where we actually get to see Batman in the original Golden Age costume doing some cool action stuff. And the end gives you the traditional Scooby-Doo ending, but then you also get a great Batman ending, which actually really worked for me in a lot of ways. It gives some of the characters in the Scooby crew, specifically Scooby and Shaggy, chances to be brave in ways that they normally aren't, but ways that definitely come from the time they've spent with Batman. And that is very interesting. So yeah, right on, guys. I thought this movie was pretty awesome. The animation definitely has some problems in a couple of little places. A lot of that I think is based on the character designs. I don't actually think it's a problem with the animation. I think it's just the way the characters are built and the angles that they're using in the show. Either way, there's a couple of places where visually the movie doesn't work 100%, but those are few and far between. The basic gist of the animation is freaking pretty awesome. Like, if you're into the classic Scooby-Doo Batman aesthetic, this is especially more relevant in like the opening credit sequence, where they do kind of like an awesome mashup between the old school Scooby-Doo series opening credits and the Batman the Brave and the Bold, even though the focus is a little more heavily on the Brave and the Bold. The writing for the movie was surprisingly good. I really enjoyed this movie's writing. Like, again, the characters had great little moments. The way they were set up was really good. There's a little bit of forced exposition in the beginning of the movie, but I can almost forgive it. Really, it's really fantastic. I wouldn't say that it's quite as good, in my opinion, as the Scooby-Doo Kiss Rock and Roll Mystery, but I think that's more because the Scooby-Doo Kiss one knows that it's also playing to adults because of the built-in fan base of Kiss, so therefore it's written a little bit more for both, whereas this one is definitely written for kids, not for adults. But I still think that the writing is good enough and sincere enough that you can enjoy it as an adult. It had some great laughs. It actually even had a couple of moments that didn't make me teary-eyed, but it had a couple of like kind of sad moments that really, really worked. So all in all, I thought this movie was really awesome. I definitely recommend it. I would give it 4 out of 5 zoinks, or something like that. Anyway, guys, yeah, definitely like this movie. Definitely go check it out. Right now, no, it's available on DVD from somewhere between like $12 and $15, and I imagine before too much longer it'll probably hit streaming services. But yeah, if you like Scooby-Doo, or if you like Batman, specifically Batman Brave and the Bold, but just Batman in general, I definitely recommend this movie for you. But have any of you guys already seen the movie? What did you think about it? Did you like it as much as me, or am I out of my frickin' mind? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure to like the video and share it with some friends. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe so you can check out all the great content I'll have coming out once I'm no longer feeling sick. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a great night. Nerds come out.